Talk about some observation based questions of chapter number 2. I'll just be telling you how to write the answers for these questions. Now you see the question first. Now first of all, let me tell you what do you mean by the word observation based question. Now if a question is asked that let us take the example, your copper nitrate is heated. Now you're not supposed to give the equation or anything or which gas is all. What you need to see, observation is something what you see. So you have to mention the color of the new substance form, the original color of the substance, the properties of the gas. That is, if the gas is evolved, then you will be telling it is, if it is colorless, it is a colorless gas. If it has certain kind of odor, then you are going to tell about the odor of the gas, and that way you are going to write the observation. You will not write the name of the gas. That is not required for writing the observation based questions. So we'll take up some of the examples of the observation based questions from chapter number 2. First, let us take this: copper nitrate is heated. You know what is the original color of copper nitrate? Yes, it is blue in color. Original color of copper nitrate is blue. And let us first write the reaction which will help you in writing the observation, but it is not necessary and it is not at all required for you to write the reaction. So copper nitrate, it will be heated, that is, it undergoes thermal decomposition. You get copper oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. So if you see this way, this is 4NO2. Now this was blue in color. When it changes to copper 2 oxide, it is black in color. And nitrogen dioxide gas is evolved, which is reddish brown in color, and a colorless gas is evolved. So there's no need to write the observation for this. So your observation comes out to be, it changes from blue to black, and along with that you can write reddish brown color gas is evolved. It is a very distinct observation in all nitrates except potassium and sodium. So this is where this is the answer. It changes from blue to black in color, or you can say it forms a black color residue. Blue salt forms a black residue, and a reddish brown color gas is evolved. Now similarly for lead nitrate, if you will write the reaction for lead nitrate, same way you'll be getting lead 2 oxide, then nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Now lead nitrate is white in color and lead 2 oxide is yellow in color. So you'll be writing, it changes from white to yellow and reddish brown color gases evolved. There's one more observation along with this. In the lead nitrate, it decrepitates on heating. It produces a crackling sound that you'll be doing in the chapter of practical chemistry. That much observation is sufficient for you. Now sodium sulfite reacts with dilute HCl. Now whenever a sulfite, metallic sulfite, any metallic sulfite, not only sodium sulfite, is going to react with a dilute acid, it can be HCl or dilute sulfuric acid, any acid. In that case, a very distinct observation will be about the sulfur dioxide gas, because in all such reactions sulfur dioxide gas is evolved. So you'll be writing, a colorless gas is evolved which turns lime water milky and turns acidified K2Cr2O7 from orange to clear green. This was the observation for sulfur dioxide that you have written. So this is the way of identifying sulfur dioxide, and here you'll be writing the observation of sulfur dioxide. So whenever we have a carbonate salt reacting with a dilute acid, the gas evolved with carbon dioxide. So you'll be writing the observation, a colorless gas is evolved with brisk effervescence. Brisk is fast, effervescence is bubbling. Like if you shake a bottle of a soft drink, that aerated drink which contains carbon dioxide in it, and you suddenly open it, you will see the bubbles that come out. Similarly, as soon as you put in this HCl into this calcium carbonate, you'll find this a colorless gas will evolve with brisk effervescence, which turns lime water milky and has no effect on K2Cr2O7 paper or solution. Now the next one is ammonium chloride reacts with calcium hydroxide. Now you see this calcium hydroxide is an alkali and ammonium salt. It is a special feature of an ammonium salt. Whenever you heat an ammonium salt with an alkali, you get ammonia gas. So whenever ammonium salt is going to react with an alkali, it can be sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Here they have given you the example of calcium hydroxide. Ammonia will be evolved. So you are going to write the observation for ammonia. You know, ammonia is again a colorless gas with pungent odor and it turns moist red litmus because it is only basic gas blue. Normally with the gases which are acidic, they turn a blue litmus red. It turns a moist red litmus blue and gives dense white fumes with concentrated HCl, that is hydrogen chloride. So if you bring a glass rod dipped in concentrated HCl, it gives you dense white fumes. Now lead nitrate reacts with sodium chloride. So let me write this reaction. This is again a precipitation reaction. Lead nitrate, PbNO3 whole twice, only soluble salt of lead. You react this with NaCl. You get PbCl2 plus NaNO3. There's no need to write the reaction. I'm just writing for your information. Now this is a lead chloride salt. It is a white precipitate. So here the observation is white precipitate, that is we write PPT, is formed. Now copper sulfate reacts with sodium hydroxide. Again a precipitation reaction. You have done it in this chapter only. CuSO4 reacting with NaOH. You'll be getting CuOH, a metallic hydroxide, you can say, plus Na2SO4. There's again no need to write, but just for this information I'm just making this. This is a copper hydroxide form. This copper hydroxide is a pale blue precipitate. It is a pale blue precipitate, insoluble in excess. You keep on adding more and more NaOH, it remains insoluble in excess of NaOH. Now this, we come on to very important observation for this chapter. This is ammonium dichromate. If you see in the reactions of decomposition, thermal decomposition, so ammonium dichromate NH4 whole twice Cr2O7, you heat it, you will be getting Cr2O3, that is chromic oxide, plus water plus nitrogen. It is the that compound which decomposes to give you this you need to balance this first, nitrogen gas. Now nitrogen is a colorless odorless gas. You can't have any observations. A distinct observation for here will be ammonium dichromate itself is orange in color and it changes to green. This chromic oxide is green in color. So the salt changes from you will be writing, it changes from orange to green, and then you will also see the flashes of light It's a very good observation. You'll be doing it in the lab, in the laboratory when the school reopens. It changes from orange to green, and flashes of light are seen. You feel this is a part of your practical chemistry also. So you'll be observing and doing these experiment in the lab. Copper sulfate is heated. You know, hydrated copper sulfate is blue in color. When you heat it, it loses water of crystallization. So blue copper sulfate, blue hydrated copper sulfate changes to white. This is important observation. And if you heat it strongly, and on strong heating, it changes to black. Remember these observations. They can ask you these observations in any form. The zinc reacts with copper sulfate. Now this is a simple displacement reaction. Zn plus CuSO4. What you get? Yes, ZnSO4 plus Cu. Now this, what is going to happen? Now this copper sulfate is in the solution form. It is blue in color. So it changes from blue to color. Zinc sulfate is a white salt, so you'll be getting a colorless solution. And copper, this what will happen, this copper metal will get deposited, and you can see this is known as a pink metal, and pink metal get deposited at the bottom, and pink metal gets deposited. Similarly, for Fe reacting with copper sulfate, you'll be getting ferrous sulfate. Now ferrous sulfate will be a yellow color solution. A greenish yellow solution will be formed. And again pink metal copper will be deposited. Now ferrous sulfate solution reacts with NaOH. You have done this. This is a precipitation reaction. Here you will be getting a dirty green precipitate, PPT, you write, insoluble in X's. FeCl3 solution reacts with NaOH. You will be getting reddish brown precipitate, insoluble in again X's. Now zinc sulfate, a white salt, it gives a gelatinous white precipitate. Gelatinous, you can say a shiny white kind of white, it looks like gel, a gelatinous white precipitate. It is now soluble in X's. Giving a colorless solution. Now lead nitrate, you get a chalky white precipitate. A chalky white precipitate, soluble in X's. Whenever a white precipitate is going to dissolve, you will be getting a colorless solution. A chalky white precipitate, soluble in X's, giving a colorless solution.